So we begin at 4 with the race for the presidency, with big developments for both campaigns.
CBS News Chicago is your convention headquarters. Our political reporter Chris Tye is at the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee along with Joe Donlon. We begin now with Joe.
Off we go, Jim and Marie. Tonight is the grand finale for Republicans after 3 days of others selling voters on a Donald Trump presidency. Tonight, we will hear from the nominee himself. It comes at a time when there are several national news reports about President Biden's future on the Democratic ticket. Last night, President Biden flew back to his Delaware home to recover from COVID-19. His doctor reporting that Biden has mild respiratory symptoms and is being treated with Paxlovid. Meantime, according to the Washington Post now, arguably the biggest name in the party, Barack Obama has told allies that President Biden's, quote, path to victory has greatly diminished. We should note a spokesperson for Obama has not confirmed this report. Obama reportedly emphasized his concern is protecting the president and his legacy. These are the Democrats so far, the House members who are now calling for President Biden to step aside. At last count, the number is up to 20, and that includes 3 congressmen from Illinois, Mike Quigley, Brad Schneider, and also Eric Sorensen. Meanwhile, it is business as usual for Vice President Kamala Harris out campaigning in North Carolina. She ignored the noise and reserved her comments for her vice presidential rival, J.D. Vance. Back here, live in Milwaukee, the city filled, of course, with Republicans this week. But as we know now, the Democratic Party sent a small group to meet with reporters here, and a key Biden campaign staffer says the president is not going anywhere.
Our campaign is not working through any scenarios where President Biden is not the top of the ticket. He is and will be the Democratic nominee. I think when it comes to if he is open or being receptive to any of that, look, the president has said it several times. He's staying in this race.
While the Democrats are dealing with their drama, the Republicans are ready for a celebration tonight. Former President Trump has been here all 3 nights at this convention so far, and tonight he will address the crowd and accept the nomination. We're told he ripped up his old speech and rewrote it following the assassination attempt last weekend. The new one, we are told, will be more personal. Another question, and it has been a big one all week, where is the former First Lady, Melania Trump? We're told she will be here tonight, sitting with the family. She is not, at this point, expected to speak, though. Now, in the wake of the weekend shooting, we have seen a lot of fist pumps this week here at the convention and chants of fight, 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 echoing the former president after that shooting at his rally last weekend. And we're going to be hearing more of that. That appears to have become the rallying cry of the Republican Party. And at the same time, there are calls for unity across the country. So this will be the first time Donald Trump will be at a podium addressing a crowd since the assassination attempt. Many are anticipating his speech tonight to see if and how it might have changed him, as even he himself has said. Here's more of what's to come tonight. To help with that fight theme, check out 2 of the speakers who will take the stage before Trump, pro wrestler Hulk Hogan, and also the president of the UFC, Dana White, a good friend of the former president. UFC, of course, standing for Ultimate Fighting Championship. Also, with the fight message, we did hear musician Kid Rock rehearsing a song that incorporates this new slogan, if you will, and then the night ends with an opera singer. We got a taste of that sound check this afternoon, and let me tell you, it reminded me of me in the shower. In my mind, anyway. But no, that's really something to see. So that's just part of the musical, highlights we have to look forward to tonight. We have 3 nights down, 1 to go. And the Illinois delegation ready to wrap up what they're calling a hugely successful convention. Our political reporter, Chris Tye, has spent the week with the group representing Illinois, and he's live now here in Milwaukee with more on why they're expecting a different tone from the former president than we've seen before. Chris?
That's exactly right, Joe. As in all political circles, it seems like today, the big question is, who will the Trump-Vance ticket face off against in November? After what is considered a very successful convention thus far, the Illinois delegation says they are ready to take on all comers, but they are also expecting a very different tone from former president tonight. Of course, you indicated he threw out his old speech and had written some new words. This is, of course, the Trump we have seen up in that box over at Fiserv Arena all week, as we all have a leader of the MAGA movement that is less animated, more relaxed than we have all grown accustomed to over the last 8 years of Trump in the national political scene. The Illinois delegation expects that to translate to a different style of speaking. It's likely to be less firebrand Trump than we've grown accustomed to, and a little bit more contemplative.
As all of you have seen over the last couple nights, what I noticed about President Trump, there's a resolve about him, a reflectiveness as he sits in that box. And you never know how almost being assassinated can affect you. But it has, I think, had a very positive effect on our party and brought us together, as I mentioned earlier. Tonight, I think we'll see that in the speech, and I think it'll be great for our party, bringing our party together.
A number of people in the Illinois delegation saying, really, Kamala Harris, Mark Kelly, whomever it might be that they take on in November, if it is indeed not Joe Biden, they are very confident, saying that this is probably going to be a landslide regardless of who the Democrat is. You'll hear more of that at 5 o'clock. And Joe, as this week kind of wraps up, the Republican delegation from Illinois also saying on almost every scorecard, whether the rollout of J.D. Vance, how the protesters were handled here, from the weather to the security to just the event vibe, they are giving themselves very high marks. So Jim and Marie, that is the situation here as we're just a couple hours away from the big event of the RNC up here in Milwaukee.
Chris and Joe, thanks so much.